I am a big advocate of authenticity online, being authentic, whether that's, your social media, your website. People want to see the warts and all who you are. We're not all perfect all the time. We have our struggles, we have our good days, we have our bad days. And that's what resonates with people, because that's exactly what the people looking at our content online are going through in their real lives. So don't be afraid to share that and be raw and be real. Also, that there's some great content to share around this is your testimonials or case studies from tenants, buyers, investors, or sellers. This creates social proof, which is what people will be looking for. So they're looking for the social proof. They're looking for you to be set up as the expert, the go-to person that you know what you're talking about, because that then builds trust with. Ultimately, people have to have a certain amount of trust before they will actually reach out and want to do business further with you. Welcome to another episode of the Property Management Podcast. Thank you so much for having me in your ears. Now, if you've been following along on this podcast journey with me, which I've now been going for nearly 2 years straight, can you believe that? Recording an episode every single week. And the reason this podcast started was from a simple mission when I was in a hospital bed after recovering from heart surgery. The reason I was in there having heart surgery and had a heart condition was from long-term ongoing stress and activated nervous system. And it was while I was laying in the hospital bed after I'd had the surgery, and it was during COVID, so I had no one with me, that my mission was born. And that was a simple mission to help other BDMs, property managers, and business owners start, grow, and scale profitable businesses without the stress and overwhelm. And that last part, the stress and overwhelm, is key to my mission. I know firsthand what it is like to reach burnout, what it is like to struggle in all of the important relationships in your life because you are so stressed and you just can't switch off. I've experienced that again recently as I'm undergoing some changes in my businesses. It doesn't ever go away. Stress doesn't actually leave our bodies. Our bodies are actually designed evolutionary for stress. It's what keeps us safe and protected us from predators. But not being able to switch off is when it starts getting to that unhealthy part or point. But this is not an episode about stress. There's plenty of previous episodes in the podcast library for you to go back and listen to episodes on stress. This episode is, I just want to share a little bit of my story and how I can help support you and the ways that I've come up with to help support you to avoid some of that stress and overwhelm and make your business journey a lot more fun, easier, and ultimately enjoyable. Because, why do business and why have your own business or work a job and not enjoy it? We spend 8 hours, 10 hours a day there. You might as well enjoy it. So some of the ways that I can support you is my website. If you go take a look there, thatpropertymum.com. There is a host of templates, resources, some free, some a small fee. There's templates and scripts for BDMs, for property managers, for business owners looking to start up their businesses and the steps that they need to take. There is also a lot of different trainings on there as well on the website that you can download and watch for a really small fee. The other thing that I have, which has been going gangbusters this year, is my PM Accelerate membership. And this membership is designed to have a property management business that you can just plug in to your own business and get continual ongoing support along the way and training. It is basically all of the templates, systems, processes that I use inside my own business. And I've basically dropped them into a membership that you can have access to at any time, 24/7. You also get consistent access to me as well. So you've got somebody on your team to lean on for support as you need it. So there's links in the show notes to find out more about the PM Accelerate membership. And I've also got a done for you agency as well now. So not only do we do social media, we're also branching out into done for you leads and a few other done for you services we're going to be adding to our books in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that. But we are launching a Black Friday offer for our done for you leads. If you would like us to to do your lead generation for you. We give you guaranteed leads with phone numbers and or email addresses and postal addresses as well. If you would like to join us, our Black Friday sale is you get 1 month free, and then it's a 2-month commitment after that for us to take care of your lead gen for you. You get those leads dropped into your inbox every single week. It's a great opportunity for you to grow your own database. So you're growing your email list without having to do the hard work. We take care of all the hard work for you. You don't have to pay for additional software or databases to be able to look for that data. We take care of that for you as well. All you need to do is once you get those leads, you need to just sit down and start making those connections, prospecting to them, whether that's phone calls, whether that's letters, or whether that is via email. That is totally up to you. But we have those guaranteed leads and contact details dropped into your inbox every single week. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, please click on the link in the show notes and we will share more details about that with you. That's our done for you Black Friday lead generation offer. And we are super excited to continue finding ways to make your jobs easier and help you to grow your business without, like I said, I'm harping on about it, I know, the stress and overwhelm. And this episode is a little bit different. I'm going to share some of the trainings that we do inside the PM Accelerate membership so that you get a little bit of a taste of what's in store for you if you wanted to join up and become part of our growing community. Take a listen. Well, welcome. Thank you for giving up some of your very valuable time to join me in today's workshop. It's one of my favorite topics, social media trends, tricks, and so I can't wait to dive in and share some of that with you. Now, this workshop is for anyone that is wanting to build a personal brand, grow your business and your rent roll using online strategies. It's for someone feeling stuck and with what to post or when to post. It's for someone who's tried everything to grow your social media, but nothing has worked. And it's for someone who's ready to generate more income without the hard work and overwhelm. To get the most out of this session, I've got a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to dive on in and ask me some questions at the end. Participate. So join me in discussions, take down plenty of notes and remove your distractions. So we're going to cover off in this workshop on exposing your personal and business brand to audiences that you've never previously had access to. We'll talk about generating new organic leads around the clock. Your social media keeps working for you even while you're sleeping. People scroll at all hours of the days and night. Think about when you might be scrolling as well. That's what your potential leads or customers are doing as well. And we'll talk about growing your property management business to achieve your financial and lifestyle goals. So I'm going to share with you how to set up your social media for lead generation. I'm going to talk about growing your audience and following, boosting your personal and business brand, and overcoming your fear and judgment and confusion. This is probably if you really look at yourself and think about why you might not be showing up on social media, generally it's not the I don't know what to post, I don't know what to do. Generally, there is something a bit deeper. There is some sort of a fear. There is that fear of judgment, what people are going to say about us. And that is real for all of us, myself included. I did not put myself out on social media for a very long time. And but once you start doing some work on why you might not be showing up, then it gets a lot easier to just go forward and start showing up and putting yourself out there. Maybe let me know in the chat, please let me know in the chat what some of your biggest struggles are on social media right now. Maybe it is that fear of judgment. Maybe it's just you don't have time. Now, if like me, you don't like cold calling and you think letters and flyers are a waste of money and you want some easy lead generation, then social media is the solution to those problems for you. And when we talk about social media, we're actually talking about content creation. That's what social media is when it comes to growing a personal and a business profile. It's about the content that you are creating. So I'm going to help you with some of those concerns that you just mentioned in the chat: posting the wrong thing, knowing what to post, and what was the other one? Consistency. So I'm going to help you with all of those things today in this session. And just like you guys, I had no confidence. I hated putting myself out there on social media. My husband was the face of the real estate business. I was the worker behind the scenes, putting all the systems and processes and stuff into place, which, to be honest, I wasn't my strongest point, but I was behind the scenes. I did not want to have my face out there. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a team behind me back in the early days. And then when my marriage broke down and I walked away from my real estate business, I'm now back in it, but I did walk away for 3 years. I had to find another way to make money and to combine my skill sets. And that's why I started That Property Mum, or that's how kind of That Property Mum evolved, and how I got it out there was through social media. I now have a large following. I've got leads on my database. I've got an online community, and I'm now up to 40,000 podcast downloads, which is pretty exciting. And I've done all of that through social media and digital marketing strategies. I always say, 3 years ago, nobody knew me in the real estate industry, and now just a few more know me, which is great. So let's dive into the latest trends, the tricks, and the best tips to make your social media journey so much easier for you, so that you can get that consistency, you can know what to post, and it's not so overwhelming for you anymore. So there are so many social media platforms. The overwhelm starts at the beginning with what platforms do we actually post on? What do I need? Which one's going to be the best one? I'm going to narrow this down, that overwhelm, for you, and tell you, for real estate and property management businesses right now, these are the top 4 platforms that you should be posting on. I would recommend starting with Instagram and Facebook because they are a meta product. You can post on one and it shares it out to both platforms, and then and the setup and stuff is pretty easy for those two as well. And then if you are already on them and you're wanting to add another one, maybe look at LinkedIn or TikTok. Some of the latest social media statistics, more than half the world is on social media. The average time spent is 2.5 hours a day. I actually believe that would be a lot more, especially if you look at the teenagers around today. There is a lot more time than 2.5 hours, I'm sure, spent on the phone. Actually, funnily enough, I've been walking my dogs in the park a lot recently. And the amount of people I see walking in the park watching their mobile phones while they are walking in the park, not switching off, not, enjoying nature and having some downtime. They are walking around looking on their phones, which, I would assume that you go to the park to get away from that stuff. But no, it seems like we are more attached to our mobile phones than ever before. And most people do access their social through their mobile phones. Facebook is still the most popular social platform worldwide, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And TikTok is the fastest growing social platform. The content that's trending best at the moment is personal posts. That I have got lots of social proof with our clients that we work with through our Done For You socials, my own posts as well. For 3 years, I think I've posted every 5-6 days a week for the last 3 years, and still to this day, my personal posts get way more engagement and traction than any other post. Educational posts are performing well as well, especially for our property management clients, and reels and videos are performing well as well. And the reel that I had on there was one of my clients, the screenshot I had on there that's now not showing up, that it was, the client has been consistently reaching over 1,000 people on her reel and video views. So it is definitely working really well. So the reel and video content is called short form video. Some content ideas for you guys, really simple stuff, your day-to-day stuff. You don't need to have professional photographers in. You've got your mobile phone, take it out, do a walkthrough of your property, do a quick Q&A about something that you're doing on the job, or some behind the scenes in the office. There's some really simple and easy ways that you can create short form video just in your day-to-day life. User generated content. So I am a big advocate of authenticity online, being authentic, whether that's, your social media, your website. People want to see the warts and all, who you are. We're not all perfect all the time. We have our struggles, we have our good days, we have our bad days. And that's what resonates with people, because that's exactly what the people looking at our content online are going through in their real lives. So don't be afraid to share that and be raw and be real. Also, that there's some great content to share around this is your testimonials or case studies from tenants, buyers, investors, or sellers. This creates social proof, which is what people will be looking for. So they're looking for the social proof. They're looking for you to be set up as the expert, the go-to person, that you know what you're talking about, because that then builds trust. With ultimately, people have to have a certain amount of trust before they will actually reach out and want to do business further with you. Interactive content is working really well at the moment as well. So polls, quizzes, ask me anything sessions. I just had a call with a client this morning. She's been doing a 5 minutes with Chrissy, and she just jumps on an Instagram live, and if she just talks about something, so it might be tenants' water bills have all come in, and so she talks about charging tenants' water bills and the process for that, and notifying her tenants that the water bills have come in. They'll be landing in your inboxes. You've got 30 days to pay them. Just really quick, simple stuff like that. Again, it can be just as you're going about your day-to-day stuff. You just need to get into that mindset of thinking about, what am I doing today that I can create content around? Some people it comes naturally to, and then other people it doesn't. I find, for me personally, when I'm busy and I'm juggling lots of balls, content is the furthest thing from my mind. So today's content, I'm actually recording this session, and then I will be chopping that up into little bits of content to share over the next couple of weeks while I'm crazy busy and I don't have to think about it. So yeah, just looking for opportunities that you, in your day-to-day life, that you can create content. Your stories is a great place to put your polls and your quizzes and your Q&A sessions as well. Hyper-local content is really popular as well, and making sure that you are tagging local businesses and local people in your content. So it's great for property managers who know their areas really well, and you can provide some insider knowledge. Some content ideas could be posts about nearby amenities, new restaurants opening, events, or even art shows or something happening in the area. You can also share local market trends and highlight why particular suburbs are great places to live or invest in. And this is all content you don't really have to think about. You can go to the new restaurant, or you can go to the new park that's just been built in a certain area, playground for the kids, and talk about it. So some of the latest social media tricks, well, not so much tricks, but some of the things that you should be jumping on to help you up level and make your social media game easier, is artificial intelligence, or our AI. So Chat GPT, or GPT-4, which is the paid version, is brilliant for content writing. We certainly use it to help us with the idea phase of content creation. So you can write your captions, blogs, newsletters, and other content really quickly. The latest GPT-4 can also help you with property descriptions or market trends and educational content. There is some really cool stuff that you can do and start. You can create your own chat and your own chatbot and start educating it on all the things that you want to educate it on. And yeah, it is amazing. The more you use it, what can happen and what you can create from it. Canva, if you're already creating content on using Canva, it's got a Magic Studio with AI powered design tools. You got to be careful with some of them. So some of the stuff isn't great quality, but it's fun to have a play around with and see what you can make happen. Video creation is made easy with a couple of platforms, AI tools as well. Opus Clips is my favorite. For example, I'm recording this session now on my iPhone, I will upload this video into Opus Clips, and it will chop it up into 60 or 90-second videos for me and auto caption it so I can just share that onto my social media. Pictory and Lumen 5 are also really good for video creation. You can also create blogs and other content from using these platforms as well. Descript is great AI for video editing and transcription. If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up, because Colmeo is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmeo is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmeo is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmeo isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative PropTech Scale Up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmeo has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmeo. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmeo.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmeo is Kolmeo. Another trick is to repurpose your content. You don't need to keep creating new content all the time. You can create, so I'll share the way that I create content is I have my podcast each week is my main piece of content that I share. And from my podcast episode, I create a blog, I create social posts, I have story posts, I have videos and reels created off the back of that. My newsletter and my email that goes out every week or month, that also touches on, is just repurposed from that podcast episode. So you can easily create content. Perhaps you want to start with a blog and you can use your AI tools to convert that blog into social captions for you. You could have it converted into a newsletter for your investor clients. Don't look, I guess the way that I do things is I always look for an easier way to do it. But if you're sitting down and writing a blog, a podcast episode, social post, story, coming up with a video script, writing a newsletter and an email campaign on top of managing properties, you're never going to get to it. So find easier ways to do things, and AI can support you to find that easier way as well. Another trick is to brainstorm content ideas or brainstorm the ideas. Grab the notes up in your phone, and while you're out, driving, or when an inspiration hits you, write down the idea so that when you do have a moment, if ever, of space and you think, oh, now's the perfect time, I'll create some content. You've already got the ideas in your phone or on your desktop ready to go, and you can start creating that content rather than having to sit down and do that first step of, thinking about what you should do. So I've always got notes in my phone with content ideas and little video ideas. So if you're stuck with one of the problems, somebody just asked a question. How do you spell that video clip app? It's Opus, OPUS, Clips, CLIPS. I think it's .ai is the actual address for it, or URL. If you're struggling with knowing what to post, start stalking some other people. Research, just see what their content's like. Look at trending reels. There's actually a section on your iPhone that you can see what reels are trending, and just simply record the everyday things that you're doing. Making your coffee, packing the kids' lunches, driving to school, doing your routine inspections. Just record little snippets of that, and then you can upload that into one of the AI tools. You can upload it into one of the other tools that I'll share with you later, and create some easy video content. The best software for creating posts is definitely Canva. There's that Opus Clips again for your video. CapCut is a Reels. Really simple way to create reels. They've got hundreds of templates. those little clips that you've done for the day in your life. You just pick a template, upload those little clips into the template, and it will create a reel with trending music for you. You can change the caption and you're done. And you can just post that straight away to your social media. Really easy. Top planning and scheduling tools. Our team uses Trello boards, and then we use Simplified to schedule it. So we plan it all out on a Trello board, and then we schedule it in Simplified. Is also, that has everything all in one. There's also Later and Meta are other platforms you can use as well. So the latest social media, I'm just going to share some of my biggest tips with you now. And the problem with knowing what to post or which platforms to be on is easily solved when you do a bit of work and you really understand who your ideal clients are. So, and this should be foundational work for any business. When you're starting out, you really want to know who your ideal client is, because we know not everybody is our ideal client. We've got certain clients that have got certain values, certain things that we want to have to be able to have a great relationship with them. So do that work. And once you know who your ideal client is, you can get set up on the platforms that are relevant to them. So if your clients are the 25 to 35-year-old bracket, you definitely want to be on TikTok and Instagram. If your demographic's more the 45 to 65 age group, and I'm generalizing here, of course this is not everybody, is not true for everybody, but I'm generalizing here that if that age bracket is 45 to 65, chances are they're going to be more heavily focused on Facebook rather than the other platforms. And once you know your ideal clients really well, it really helps you to be able to create content that is going to be relevant to them. So and a good way to know what content to share with them is to think about their biggest struggles. What are they really struggling with right now? And talk to their struggles in your content and provide solutions to their struggles in your content. One of my biggest tips is just pick one or two platforms and just get started posting on there. Like I said earlier, I would recommend Facebook and Instagram just to get started on. Let's talk about setting up your platform for lead generation now. A lot of people overlook the importance of setting up their profiles properly. So let's break that down a little bit for you. The first thing is you want to make sure that you've got high quality profile images, or your logo is shared on there. You want to make sure that they fit that they're sized correctly, that they're not blurry. If it's a photo of you, try to have your face, and even if you can, fit your hands in the photo. Showing hands in front of you is a social cue that you can be trusted. So try to get, a nice photo in there. If possible, sometimes it's hard, but at least a nice face shot, looking directly at the camera if possible. It just creates a better connection online with people. I know this is really small, nuanced things, but sometimes all these small things add up to a big thing, like them trusting you and wanting to reach out and work with you further. Call to action, make sure you've got your contact details on there. And this goes for your website, this goes for your social media profiles as well. Can they call you easily? Can they just write, I like this person? Can they just pick up the phone and call you straight away? Is your email there? Is your website there? Can they book in an appraisal directly there with you? And your bio as well. Make sure that they can clearly see who you are, what you do, and where you do it is important as well, because that will that will make it easier for people to know that you are the right person for them. So here is just an example of my Instagram bio. Very simple. I tell people what I do. I've got a link tree, which is a link. You can just put your phone number and email in there. I have a link tree, which is basically just like a landing page where they go, and because I've got lots of different things calls to action that they can take with me. So that's as simple as it needs to be. I also recommend setting up your highlights as well and having stuff set up in there as well. Here's my real estate one as well. So I just make sure that I say where I'm selling, that I do selling, I do buying, I do property management. The call to action here is getting a digital appraisal. For that digital appraisal, they have to leave their phone number and email address. So I'm collecting data through that. That's again an example of what that bio would look like. Here again is my Facebook one. Having your phone number is really important, having an email address. And here is my LinkedIn one as well. I'm just kind of giving you a bit of an idea of ultimately, this is like your business card now. Our social media profiles, we're not going out and meeting as many people anymore and giving out our business cards. People are meeting us through our social media, and this is our online business cards. So I always like to treat setting the profiles up as a first meeting with somebody. So yeah, I do encourage you to put a bit of effort into, can help. I've just done a training on LinkedIn, and I have been helping people with their LinkedIn profiles. So if you do need some help with setting up profiles, please just reach out, and I'm more than happy to jump on a call with you. So with all of that information that I've just shared with you and putting yourself out there on social media, it really does allow you to attract your clients organically. Posting consistently, showing up consistently. I recommend, like, no one really knows how many times a week you should be posting. I can only speak from personal experience, what has worked for me and what is working for my clients. And I know that the more consistently you're showing up, the more the algorithm rewards you. It's a case of, keep using it and it will reward you. Keep going to the gym and you will get fitter and healthier. And so the algorithm continues to push out. The more you're using it, the more people they push your content out to. I don't know if you saw on my profile back there on Instagram, but in the last week, my profile had reached 19,000 people. Now I haven't had I've got 3,500 followers. I haven't had a huge engagement. I haven't had lots of people commenting, haven't had massive amounts of likes or shares, but because I am a consistent user, it's pushing my content out to more and more people. More and more people are reaching out to me through being seen. My DMs are constantly getting people, and not just real estate people now. I'm getting more and more people from different industries reaching out, liking the content, wanting to know more. So it is really important that you get that consistency there. And I would encourage you to try initially 3 days a week, push it out to 5 days a week if you can. And if you get really savvy with it, using some of the tips and tricks and trends that I've shared with you, it becomes like a system, a well-oiled machine in your business. And eventually you don't have to really think too much about it. It is a great way of generating new leads. Like I said, I've got people constantly jumping into my DMs or emailing me, reaching out through all the different avenues that I've got. It does definitely help with that. And of course, 19,000 people would not have seen my brand if I was not on social media and posting consistently. That's the reality of it. There's a whole audience out there that you've never previously had access to, and you're never going to have access to unless you start putting yourself out there and showing up on social media. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, I've done this for 3 years consistently now. You can go back through my Instagram feed and you can see where I started to where I am today. My content was terrible. I did a video every single week for an entire year, and it's cringeworthy. If I want to remind myself of how far I've come, I go back and look at that stuff, and yeah, it's even though I cringe and I'm probably very embarrassed and people were probably judging me very harshly, but ultimately it doesn't really matter because where I started is not where I'm going to end up. And I hope that resonates with you as well. Like I said, once you get it flowing and you get a system and you're using some of these tools, your time will be freed up and you won't have to really think about social media. And I'm hoping that, this session has helped alleviate some of the overwhelm and stress, and because ultimately I want you to grow your business and I really want you to grow your income as well. Otherwise, why are we doing what we're doing? So I guess I'm just sharing my social proof with you now. We've helped, say, over maybe 25, 30 agencies now and property managers with their social media. So a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing, I know is actually now working. I feel confident sharing the tips and tricks that I have with you because I know they actually do work from my own experiences and from the clients that we are continuing to work with and create content for as well. If you would like to jump on in and have a little bit of a call with our team about your social media, there is no obligation, of course, to stay with us. But if you'd like a bit of a deeper dive, we can show you, some of the platforms that we use and just go a little bit deeper with you. Thank you so much for being here, taking some time out of your busy schedules. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that I have shared some value with you today, and I hope that you've got some confidence now to go and get out there and start posting and putting yourself out there without worrying about what anyone else thinks. If I'm always here to support everyone, so reach out anytime. I would love to connect with you further. Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.